It's The Cure's greatest hits album, and it's great if you don't know about it. I grew this, took some, romaine lettuce I was done with, put it in this water. And then in about a week, look what happened. So in 2 weeks, if I wanted to, I could take it to the farmer's market. I could sell it for $2. I'm just going to make salad with it, though. I've named her Freya.
Kirsten's Agenda is the name of my show. It's a way to make art and learn stuff and grow. There will be lots of segments and maybe some guests. 10 minutes of deep breath, that is my quest. If while we're here, then our insides expand to be more compassionate to our fellow man and woman and person. And remember, the truth is that kindness is cool. Have sex with my feelings and being cruel. Because our power lies in our minds and our hearts. Opening up is a really good place to start. Kirsten's Agenda.
I have Morrissey on my sweater because today we're talking about villains, and Morrissey to me is an example of a villain. I love the Smiths, and I love so much of Morrissey's music. And aside from the really, I find gross things that he has agreed with that I strongly disagree with, and the statements that Morrissey has said that I strongly disagree with. I went to a Morrissey concert when I still went to concerts a couple of years ago. I'll go to concerts again, but we're all in this situation. I was so excited because he made the Hollywood Bowl go vegan for the night, which was a thrill to me. I don't often get to go to a place and just be able to eat anything there. And then the concert started, and he proceeded to do things, say things, show things that I found villainous. And by villainous, I mean, this must be someone that feels like they don't have power. So they put on top of that feeling of powerlessness, pseudo power, and it expresses itself through cruelty and through control. Through saying, look at what a bunch of dummies you guys are, and I'm better than you, and I get to do something mean, and I get to put you, I get to exert some sort of cruelty on you because you're dumber than me, or you're not as good as me, or you're to blame for something. And the act of me doing that to you makes me feel powerful temporarily, or it makes you feel powerful because you have a hope that in the future you're going to feel better about doing this mean thing. It's not true. It's a pseudo power, but that's what being a villain is about. It's a pseudo power. It's a persona that all of us have in greater and lesser degrees. It's a part of us. My hope is that we all get into agreement that all of us have a villain. All of us have multiple villains in us that do things to get power. And the more conscious we are of that, then it shows up less and it shows up lighter. The more unconscious we are about it, it can just show up whenever. There is a certain someone, I really like to use this graphic when I'm talking about this certain someone. This certain someone, I like to think that this certain someone and I, our villains are different because I'm very aware of my villains. And this person can say things that are very villainous about other people, can do things that are very villainous, and they will either be in total denial that they are being a villain and actually feel like they're the victim, they're being victimized, or they'll feel justified in the villainy. Now, here's the part I think that's tricky about villain is that I would like to think that the universe smiles upon me more than this person that I like to use this graphic of. But that's not true. I really truly believe that the universe exerts an equal amount of energy and attention and attunement to each of us. No matter what, I do think that the more you stay in persona, you cut yourself off from that energy. But this belief that we hold on to as humans that like, oh, if I'm a good person, good things will happen. And because you're a bad person, that's why people wish bad things to happen to people that have done mean things, right? That's why we want that, is because we think that would make it better, right? We get off. My villain certainly gets off when someone has been mean to me, or someone has been mean to someone I love, and then they get something bad happens to them. If I'm in my villain, it'll feel good to watch them squirm. That'll feel good. I don't have that happen for very long. I'm not trying to like, wow, I'm so great. I don't mean it like that. I try to stay in my essence qualities more. So I try not to enjoy when bad things happen to someone who I'm like, oh, I'm happy that you're squirming about that. And when I do enjoy it, I let myself really enjoy it with the consciousness of knowing that I'm in my villain. And that's why I'm enjoying it. I'm not enjoying it because they deserve it. Because no one deserves cruelty and pain inflicted upon them. No one. No one. It happens. It's horrible. But it's not like, oh, if you inflict cruelty and pain upon that person somehow changes the cruelty and pain that they, perpetrated against someone else. That's not true. So if I can look and I can see, oh, that person is squirming because they did something bad and now something bad's happening to them. And I love it so much. If I can be aware that I'm getting off on my villainy, and I can truly be aware of like, oh, look at you, Kirsten, and your villain. You're really getting off on this theater. Then I'm conscious about it because we're all going to do it. This is not a practice of, oh, I'm in my villain. What a jerk. That's not the practice. Because then you're being a villain to yourself, right?
I thought today would be a good day to make a worm bag. This is just, as you can see, an old bag of tea that I've put the word worm bag on. And then, it depends what you have. Here's what I'm doing. Touch it, touch it, touch it. And then you infuse as you're touching it. If you've got a plastic whale, put that on top and then wait for a second. We've got some sprigs of parsley. I put some pepper on there. I used produce stickers from those tomatoes. And we know what the next step is. And that's it. I mean, this is the light up ball I always use for my worm bags, but if you've got something different and you want to try that, go ahead. I find that this really does the trick for me.
Person on the internet, you went onto my page and commented in such a way you filled me up with rage. You said things that were untrue and dumb and wrong and bad. So I am now a villain and your misfortune makes me glad. I hate your guts. And you should die, and they should put your intestines in a pie, and I won't eat it because you're gross. And I'm a villain and I hate you the most. No, wait, people with ideals that contrast very much with mine. You all should be punished just for existing at this time because the way you do things is so different than I. So I will control your actions, even if that means I cheat and punch and lie. I hate your guts. I hate your guts. And you should die. And you should die. And they should put your esophaguses in a pie. And I won't eat it. Why? Because you're gross. And I'm a villain. And I hate you the most. No, wait. Kirsten spent all afternoon just lazing all around. And I think I look weird in clothes and look super funny when I frown. It's stupid. I've not finished cleaning out all my kitchen shelves. And for all these sins, I have the right to put myself through hell. I hate my guts, and I should die. And they should put both my elbows in a pie, and I won't eat it. Why? Because I'm gross, and I'm a villain, and I hate me the most, because we know if you hate other people, you really hate yourself, and you can't stand to be inside your own body, so you project it outside, and it's all theater. Let's not forget.